The leak of a pair of highly classified US intelligence documents which describe satellite images of Israeli military preparation for a potential strike on Iran has raised a lot of eyebrows. The two documents were prepared in recent days by the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, which is responsible for analyzing images collected by American spy satellites. They began circulating last week on the Telegram app. They were being discussed largely by pro-Iran accounts on Telegram. The documents, which offer interpretations of the satellite imagery, provide insight into a potential strike by Israel on Iran within the next few days. Such a strike has been anticipated in retaliation for the Iranian assault earlier this month, in which Iran attacked mainstream Israeli cities like Tel Aviv and Jerusalem with close to 200 ballistic missiles. On Crux Decode, what do the documents reveal about the nature of Israel's planned response? How did these documents leak in the first place? Is America spying on its closest ally in the Middle East? And what may be the possible response by Iran if parts of this plan were to come to fruition? One of the documents is titled "Israel, Air Force Continues Preparations for a Strike on Iran." It describes recent exercises which appear to rehearse certain elements of such a strike. The second document details how Israel is shifting the placement of its missiles and its other weapon systems in case Iran responded with its own set of strikes. Officials were divided about the seriousness of the leak, which did not appear to reveal any new American capabilities, but the documents describe not the satellite images per se, but what it does reveal, once again, is the degree to which the United States is potentially spying on one of its closest allies. Other US intel officials say that any exposure of one of America's closest allies and its war plans is a serious breach indeed. Officials did privately acknowledge that the documents were authentic, although the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence both declined to comment. US officials say that they did not know where the documents had been taken from and that they were still hunting for the original source of the leak. President Joe Biden was asked about this in Germany last Friday, whether he knew A, when Israel planned to strike and what kind of targets it had chosen to strike in Iran. And he responded yes and yes to both questions. He declined to speak any further on this topic. But his statement, that is President Biden's statement, seemed to hint that both him and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who have not often seen eye to eye on many issues regarding the war, they seem to have arrived at some kind of understanding about what targets Israel is going to hit inside Iran. Now, this is significant because earlier Biden had called on Israel to avoid hitting any of Iran's nuclear sites or its energy facilities. The US president has repeatedly raised concerns if these targets, particularly the nuclear targets, which are Iran's crown jewels, were destroyed, then Tehran would quickly escalate. The documents that have been leaked describe satellite photographs of an Israeli military exercise on the 15th of October in preparation for a potential retaliatory strike on Iran. Part of the purpose of this exercise was to practice air-to-air refueling and search and rescue operations as per these leaked documents. The exercise involved a force which is of a similar size to what Israel had used in a strike on Yemen back in late September. The documents also discuss Israeli preparations of long-range, air-launched ballistic missiles, air-to-air surface missiles, and air refueling planes, as well as other support aircraft. The documents also say that Israel was conducting covert surveillance on Iran along with drones. But the officials also say that the documents were not a comprehensive assessment of what the United States knows about Israel's intentions. The documents, which are dated October 15th, represent only what analysts are looking at satellite imagery could determine at that time. But this is not the first time that US intel has been leaked on such a big scale. A year ago, a large trove of classified material, which first appeared on a Discord server a couple of years ago, were made public in April of 2023. An Air National Guardsman, Jack Teixeira, had pleaded guilty to 6 counts of violating the Espionage Act. In exchange, he got a prison sentence of about 16 years. A US official said that the investigation is examining who had access to this alleged Pentagon document. Any such leak would automatically trigger an investigation by the FBI alongside the Pentagon and the US intelligence agencies. Both the FBI and the Pentagon have declined to comment. It's not clear how these documents became public, or whether they were hacked or deliberately leaked by an individual concerned in the defense establishment. The US is already on high alert about possible Iranian hacking campaigns. In fact, US intelligence agencies had said back in August that Iran had hacked documents belonging to Donald Trump's campaign. Again, there were concerns in the defense and intelligence establishments, but nothing more came of it. The leak comes at an extremely sensitive moment in US-Israeli ties and is bound to anger the Israelis who've been preparing to strike Iran in response to the missile barrage on the 1st of October. One of the documents also suggests that something that Israel has always declined to confirm publicly, that the country has nuclear weapons. The document says that the United States has not seen any indications of Israel planning to use a nuclear weapon against Iran, but it's also unlikely to deploy these nukes, even if they were tactical ones, against Iran, given the scope of a rapid escalation by Tehran. Meanwhile, an already volatile region teeters on the edge in anticipation of Israel's strike.